Hello, hello. We are live. Welcome, welcome. I hope you are not hungry while you are joining this. Um, we are here to talk about one simple shortcut to punch up your copy, mint chocolate chip style. Now, why am I talking so much about ice cream? Okay, bear with me here. First of all, I love ice cream. Second of all, this is a question that I ask and have asked my writing clients for a very long time. So it's actually one of the questions that I ask when you join the Copylab community Facebook group. I will ask you, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? And part of that is just like, are you a real person? Do you like ice cream? And believe it or not, a significant percentage of people who join that group tell me that mint chocolate chip is their favorite flavor. So if that was your answer, if you do like mint chocolate chip ice cream, wave, say hi, and know that you are awesome. Now, if mint chocolate chip ice cream is not your favorite flavor, that is okay. I forgive you. And it just goes to show that, just illustrates my point that people, your audience, the way you show up, what you do, the way you talk about what you do, um, will attract your own flavor of ice cream, right? You'll attract the people who resonate with your message, your values, your story, where you've been, the way you talk, your style, your way of presenting things. And for each person, it may be different, right? But the key is here, and the way that you translate who you are into that copy, and the way that you get all of your personality in there, is by using the shortcut that we're going to talk about. And how do we do it? So, why mint chocolate chip is the first question. Let me explain to you. Bear with me. This is going somewhere. Why mint chocolate chip is my favorite flavor of ice cream. First of all, mint and chocolate, I think, is a beautiful combination. It's unexpected. It's fresh. It's not toothpaste flavor, but I just love the combination of mint and the crunchiness of the chocolate chips in the middle. And it's something that goes together, but it's not for everybody. And so when I'm talking about mint chocolate chip messaging, what I mean is something that calls to your people, that you are specifically talking to them, but that may not calls to someone else, that may actually be like, oh no, this person is not for me. And it's okay to do that. It is okay to put a stake in the ground, be controversial in your marketing, um, put your perspective out there and what you stand for. And I say this as a lesson for myself right now, because this whole exercise of me talking about, yeah, this is it. This is what I stand for. This is what really bugs me. This is what I could stand up on a soapbox and talk about for, an hour. Getting those questions is something that I ask my clients when I write for them so that I can step into their voice. And it's not something that I have allowed myself to do in my public perspective, in my public content. So even though I know how important it is, it's like those cobblers kids going barefoot, right? Barefoot right now. And we're realizing how important it is. So first of all, this is me saying, if you are not taking a stand in your copy and not taking a stand in your messaging, and people don't know who you are and what you stand for, that's the first thing that needs to change. And this is me giving myself and you permission to go ahead and do that. All right, you got it. Go do it. And let me know in the comments, like, yes, okay, I got you. We're doing it. The second thing here, and this is the shortcut that I wanted to talk about, is mint chocolate chip. It's not a phrase, not a word you hear every day in everyday language, especially on like business Instagram or business Facebook or, the people I follow. It's a little bit of a what we call a pattern interrupt or a sticky phrase that sort of cuts through the noise and gets people's attention. And it's the same principle of like, don't think about a pink elephant. Oh, pink elephant. Yeah, that's what's in your brain right now. Because as we evolved, right, evolutionarily speaking, as humans, we are trained to see and pay attention to the things that are new and different from our usual environment. So our brains are naturally attracted to things that are new and different and not our usual patterns. They force us to pay attention to integrate that into what we already know, into our existing paradigms. Like, is this a threat? Is this not a threat? Is this something that I even need to pay attention to? But what it does in that split second is to capture people's attention. And so the shortcut is this. The shortcut is there are so many words right now that are being overused. And I can just tell you, like, scrolling Instagram, scrolling Facebook, scrolling LinkedIn, I cannot tell you how many times I hear and read the words scaling, growth, clarity, confidence, strategy, and the list can kind of go on and on. And feel free to put your favorite overused phrase in the comments here. Let me know which is the one that you are really tired of seeing, or that you feel yourself you overuse, because sometimes we have a tendency to just take the shortcut and go with the words that people recognize, instead of doing that little bit of extra work to find the nuance and find the words that are going to stand out. And like, if you're doing that, totally okay. I'm guilty of it. It happens because our brains are seeking those shortcuts. Sarah says up level. Yes, up level is one. We hear that one a lot, definitely. I actually made a list of these. I'm trying to find that list. It's like, here's the thing. There you go. That's one too, for sure. I guess my pet peeve ones would be scale your business. What does that mean? Growth, leverage, low stress, hustle. Yeah, there's one. There's a lot, right? And I am not saying by any means to stop using those words, because live your best life. Sarah, you're full of them today. My goodness. Not saying don't use them at all, because in certain places they do signal to people. They convey a lot in one term because they're so often used. What I am suggesting is that we exercise our creative brains, which you are all, I'm sure, super creative, and your people, your stuff. Alignment, there we go. Like, oh yeah, alignment. Another one, flow. Oh, just flow. We're in the flow. And I don't know what that means. Flow of what? The current? The what? I don't know. And I'm not saying don't use them ever. It's just like when you run your stuff through any kind of grammar filter, or, editing, or Grammarly, or whatever it is, they make suggestions for like other words you can use. So what I'm suggesting is you can take this mint chocolate chip concept, this idea of using sticky words, sticky concepts, things that are pattern interrupts, weave them into your copy to get people's attention, and don't take for granted that using words like flow, authenticity, alignment are going to actually convey what you mean. And there's this added nuance if you can use a better analogy, use a different analogy, use a different phrase, use something that someone is not used to seeing, and then use that as the vehicle to convey your message, which is probably about scaling and, being in flow and living your best life and not hustling, like all those things. They're all true. They're just overused. And so the more you can step away from those phrases and relying on those phrases alone and weaving in some of these more fun pattern interrupt things. And they can be literally anything. That's the fun part of this, is that it can be anything. And when I do this exercise with people in workshops, in smaller groups, I tell them, like, look around, pick anything, um, and write about it. And cool. All right, this is what's on my desk right now. We're doing this in real time. All right, my son, he's almost 3. We've taken away his pacifier. This is the last one. It's sitting on my desk because I don't want him to see it. I found it in a bag. I'm like hiding it. Cool. Where are you giving your clients a pacifier? Where are you like, give me any market, any niche, any something. I can tie this to that message you want to convey. And so can you. And so my question for you is, A, is this idea resonating with you? Like, how do you get away from falling into this trap of words that are overused, and how do you stand out? B, how can you take inspiration from the most mundane objects and turn them into personality in your copy in a way that gets people's attention and then leads them to where they want to go? So 2 things, like, is this concept resonating? Are you tired of hearing all these things? From the comments, it seems like yes, you are. Flow, it's a vibe. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. And there are a lot more. Like I said, I had this whole list. What was it? Rapid growth. There's a lot. And again, feel free to leave your favorites in the comments, and we will have a list so that everyone else can be aware of how we may be using them. And then your challenge for this week is to, in any piece of your content that you create this week, bring in a mint chocolate chip. Bring in something new and unexpected. Bring in something that has absolutely no connection to what you are talking about, and make that connection for people. And see what happens. See what happens to the comments. See what happens to your engagement. See what people have to say about it. Skyrocket your success. There's another one. Yeah, or like rocket fuel, or accelerate, or exponentially. They're all there because there are only so many words in the English language, and we're all here trying to convey a lot of the same concepts. And so how are you gonna get people's attention? Ooh, threat, potential interested thing, potential dinner. Ooh, maybe. Okay. Mint chocolate chip. I am going to come back to this. Now I really want ice cream. So raise your hand if you also really want ice cream at this point. And I'll just apologize in advance. Sorry. But the point that I want to make here is, it's all right to lean into these, but we can do better. If you're watching this, if you are looking for ways to infuse your personality and copy that way in a way that feels real, here is one way that I present to you. And it does take some practice. It does take some, like, getting comfortable with it. But I think that when you put that message out there, and every time that I've done this exercise, like, what is your favorite ice cream flavor? I'll ask clients. They'll tell me, and then I'll say, why? And there's always a story with it. There's always a story. And that story is always, without fail, I don't know how this works or why, but it's amazing. It's always a great metaphor for their business or whatever they're selling or their offer. So if you want to play the ice cream flavor game, go ahead. What is your favorite ice cream flavor and why? Tell that story to your audience. See what happens. Questions, comments, takeaways, leave them for me in the comments, your biggest takeaway. Super curious. how this is landing for you. And go ahead and tell your ice cream story. Tell your ice cream story and see what happens. I'm going to leave it here for today. And I cannot wait to see new words, new creativity, new ideas, new ways of looking at things, new metaphors, your personality come shining through in your copy. Can't wait for it. I'm excited. Take care. Bye-bye.